Welcome to PMG United, your go-to source for breaking down the world's most pressing topics, trends, and real-time events. Whether it's the latest in finance, tech, politics, or pop culture, we dive deep into how these developments impact you. We're here to decode the noise, offering sharp insights and relatable takes on how today's headlines impact your everyday life. Tune in, stay informed, and become part of the conversation with PMG United. Simply put, people may get united off of this. Welcome to PMG United. I'm Ulysses. Thanks for rocking with me, tuning in. What we're going to talk about today is global affairs. So let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on. So right now we have footage of the Pentagon is discussing what's going on between Iran and Israel. Fair use. This is biblical prophecy playing out right before our eyes. We have a few things that we're going to touch on. This is number one. First thing, these are wars and rumors of wars. So you see how NATO is going over and trying to plant a flag in or near Russia. So you have that war over there with Ukraine. Now we have Israel, which is the strong arm of the U.S., which is why they back them in this country. Global white supremacy. Small hats are over there and a land that they should be in. However, you see that they're going against all the inhabitants of the land over there. Over here still, people that has been here since the millennia, since the beginning of or before this country was established. The reason why a certain group is treated the way they are or treated the way we are. Don't want to go too far off the deep end. Let's go.
How much warning were you given by Iran?
Yeah, I'm not aware of any pre-warning by Iran about their potential attack. As you know, this is something we've been following very closely for a while, based on the threats of retaliation by Iran. And so we've been closely consulting with Israel for a while now to be prepared in the eventuality. And as today demonstrated, we were prepared and we were able to successfully work alongside Israel to defend them from this attack.
Now, I'm going to pause it. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'd be standing even in eye view where you see bombs. Anything can happen. You can get caught with the shrapnel, the debris. Not me personally. But, that does beg the question, why is the U.S. backing the small hats for whatever reason? I know why. It's biblical. Not saying that they are the Israelites. They're Israelis. They're not the Jews, but they're Jewish. Self-proclaimed. They're not the people of Scripture, not by bloodline. So all of these prophecies have to be fulfilled. And it's like a movie playing out right in front of our eyes. If you are in the know. If not, you pretty much don't know what's going on. Get you some breadcrumbs so that you can follow along and get more knowledgeable as we go.
يا ابويا المطار هذا قريب يا ابويا المطار خذها على المطار يا ابويا المطار يا هذا قريب يا ابويا كلنا على المطار اقسم بالله يا ونكسرهن يا ابويا المطار الله يا ابوي وصلنا الطلق المطار راح يا ولاد راح المطار راح مطار الغتيم راح.
That's quite close.
يا رب.
Too close for my liking.
يا ولاد مطار الغتيم راح. يا رب. يا الله. يا رب. يا الله. لا تمدي.
Let's see.
Someone commented under my video saying, you guys think that everything is leading to World War III.
Mm-hmm.
We are in World War III. They're just not saying it. America is at war with Russia, China, Iran. The battleground is just the Middle East and in Africa. They're fighting over resources, over power, over control, over these regions. I interviewed a woman from Tigray, a woman from Congo, a woman from Sudan. And in each of these interviews, I asked them, who is supporting and funding the wars and genocide in your country? It's always the same players: the US, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Turkey, Russia, China, all of the European nations.
That's biblical. That's Psalms 83. It tells you they are confederate against thee. So all of the UN nations, all of the European nations, Esau, Japhet, there are one conglomerate. They're fighting each other. As far as I'm concerned, it's house against house, a house dispute going on right there. You got so-called white against white, people who you're not supposed to say the name of, all of those regimes. So when you talk about that, to me, that's Aryan against another Aryan, white against white, all supremacy. They're fighting over the same resources that do not belong to them. That's why they annihilate and decimate places and people that no longer exist on earth, or the ones who are still here and subjected. Only thing that they have biblically, the reason why we were subjected is biblically they had to come against the children of Israel to fulfill prophecy. They're blessed with weaponry. That's it. There's no way on this earth that they could have subdued us, the children of Israel, if they didn't get the blessing of weaponry. But remember, they were a cunning hunter. That's their gifts. They like to hunt. They like to kill. They like to destroy, seek. That sounds like devil to me, just like scripture says. Some people get joy out of doing that, joy out of seeing blood, joy out of eating blood, joy in what they call it raw, things like that. And this is not a blanket statement. This is something that's, beneficial to a certain group and not beneficial to the other groups. Common sense, people.
How are you not able to see that we are at World War III? And the reason it's not happening in mainland is because of nuclear weapons. Everybody has nuclear weapons and nobody wants to have nuclear war. That's like me and you are in a pool of gasoline and you have 10 cigarettes and I have one. Does it matter who lights up first? Like, you guys do know that when they created the atomic bomb, they weren't certain if the atomic bomb was going to destroy the entire planet, right? And they still used it. Not certain if the atomic bomb was going to destroy the entire world, because they felt like they knew what was best. They felt like the threat of Nazi Germany was greater than the atomic bomb.
Now, you heard what she said. They created the atomic bomb. Who is the they? It's always back to the UN. It's always the nations that are confederate, the ones who are blessed with weaponry. They can't combat you hand to hand. They can't be in the same vicinity with the stronger people. They have to be able to destroy or kill you from afar, because that's the only way that they can do it, and that's throughout history. There's no arguing that.
And they risked all of our lives. They fucked with all of our lives, completely played with our lives. And here we are in present day, where now countries around the world don't just have atomic bombs, they have nuclear bombs, which is 10 times more explosive. And it's in the hands of the most dangerous people in the world. And so many of us are trying to ring the alarm to get you guys to care, because they're not going to announce to us that, hey, we're at World War III and cause chaos. No, they're not going to do that. So we are trying to. We're trying to sound the alarm, right? So that your kids might possibly have a future. And the response back from people is just that we are being dramatic, that we think that everything is leading to World War III. Like the privilege of being so ignorant, my God. Like the privilege in just saying stupid shit like, I don't watch the news. Like that's a flex. It's not a flex. We are in World War III. Look around. You don't want to watch the news? Well, listen to what people, just look at what's happening to people. Look at these videos coming out. We are reaching it's a peak in history. Like, I cannot even comprehend the ignorance right now. The ignorance of people who live in the Western world.
I agree with that, because this is a privileged place. Like I say, we're the most docile now due to all of the things that they've done to us with the food. You know, only a people would try to accommodate or ingratiate themselves with the people who enslaved them, who constantly berates them, who constantly kills them, who constantly denies them rights, which is a God-given right. You know, it just baffles me for us to be the most genuine, the most ingenuity, those who are the most creative, those who are the most kind at the end of the day. However, being that way has been a detriment to our own survival, because like the young lady said in this video, we are living in a state of delusion because we are in the mainland, and because our country that we live in, I say our loosely, but the country that we live in does control nuclear weapons and atomic bombs and things like that. So that's why we haven't been fired on. However, you've seen what Putin said recently, right? It only can be started with the hands of the U.S. Behind the scenes, right? So he said once he gets a wind of it and it starts, he has no problem sacrificing himself for the greater good, which means dropping those bombs just as we're trying to invade lands that don't belong to us. I say us loosely as well. That's all. I want you guys to go ahead and ponder on some of the things that I said. This is Mr. Mel's. This is PMG United, where people may get united, or at least we should. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate the support. Now let's get the conversation started.